Let's look at another interesting problem from JEE Mains 2026 paper. So it's a GP paper. You can try on your own. You can pause the video, uh, uh, spend 5 to 10 minutes trying to solve the question, and then you can start looking at the solution. What I found interesting about this question was that the concepts are from the syllabus, but then they have been given a very interesting shape. So let's start the question. So let A1, A2 by 2, A3 by 2 square, A10 by 2 raised to 9 be a GP of common ratio 1 raised to 2. So there is a geometric progression which is given to us. A1, A2 by 2, A3 by 2 square, 9 GP of common ratio 1 by root 2. And we have to find the value of A1 plus A2 till 62. Now, what I find very interesting is that we understand what is a GP, but then you look at this question and you really have to scratch your head to understand how do we tackle this question. So let's look at the solution and proceed. So what I have done is that they have told me that the common ratio is 1 by root 2. So they have told me that the common ratio is 1 by root 2. So what I do is I start dividing a2 by 2 a2 by 2 upon a1, a3 by 2 square by a2 by 2. So I start dividing because I understand that in a GP, second term upon first term is equal to third term upon second term is equal to fourth term upon third term. The ratio of the consecutive terms is equal to the common ratio. Now when I do the first step a2 by 2 upon 1, then I realize that this is equal to a2 by 2 a1. So for second, I understand that this 2 and this 2 will cancel. So this will be equal to a3 upon twice of a2. When I do the third, so slowly you will start seeing a pattern which will look something like this. So the common ratio would be equal to a2 upon twice of a1, a3 upon twice of a2, a4 upon twice of a3. So this is a pattern which will develop. In the numerator, you will have a2, a3, a4, and in the denominator, you will have 2a1, 2a2, 2a3. So this is a pattern which has developed, and all of this will be equal to 1 by root 2. So this is what I have till now I have understood this. So now I'll start doing the manipulation to finally proceed towards the solution. So a2 upon 2a1 is equal to 1 by root 2. So when I calculate, my root 2a1 will be equal to a2. Similarly, a3 upon 2a2 is equal to 1 by root 2. Then I do the manipulation, then a3 is equal to twice of a1. One thing that you need to see is that when this a2 is there, I'll put the value from the first calculation, that root 2 upon a1. So this is what I have done here, root 2 upon a1. Then a4 upon twice of a3 is equal to a3 upon twice of a2. I hope you are able to see. And then again, the value of a3 is put to be twice of a1. So this is twice of a1. So finally a4 is equal to 2 root 2 a1. Basically what I'm trying to do is, I have put a2 in terms of a1. a2 is root 2 a1. I have put a3 in terms of a1, it is twice of a1. a4 is 2 root 2 a1. So all the terms I am putting in terms of a1. Why am I doing that? Let's see. So this is what this is what I'm doing. So my a2 is root 2 a1, my a3 is twice of a1, my a4 is 2 root 2 a1, my a5 would be, basically, if you see the pattern which is developing, you have to multiply uh, a1 by root 2. So root 2 into root 2 is 2, into root 2 is 2 root 2, into root 2 would be equal to 4, and so on. So this is the pattern which is developing. Now why are we doing this? We are doing this because we have to find this sum. And So when I do A1, A2, A3, so what I'll realize is that this A1 would be common, and in the bracket I'll have in the bracket basically the this is how it will look like. So A1, so A2 is a root 2 A1, A3 is a 2 A1, A4 is a 2 root 2 A1, and so on. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the A1 common. This A1 is common. So once I've taken the A1 common, this would be 1. This would be root 2. This would be 2. This would be 2 root 2. So these would be 10 terms. And now inside this bracket, basically if you look carefully, 1 upon root 2 plus 2 plus 2 root 2 and so on. So now this is a GP whose common ratio is root 2. Let me call this R. So I have made a GP whose common ratio is root 2 and whose first term is A1. So I use the formula A R raised to R n minus 1 upon, this is the formula A R n minus 1 upon R minus 1. This is the formula I use. And once I've used that formula, so I put the value of R, my R I have told you is root 2. So root 2 raised to 10 minus 1 upon root 2 minus 1. So A1 root 2 raised to power 10 would be equal to 32. Why 32? Because see, root 2 into root 2 into root 2 so on. So root 2 into root 2 is 2. So we'll be having a term like 2 raised to power 5. So 2 raised to power 5 would be equal to 32. 32 minus 1 is equal to 31. And this is root 2 minus 1 is equal to 62. So A1 would be equal to, when I have to manipulate this 31 will come here, root 2 minus 1 will come here. And this will be equal to twice of root 2 minus 1. So this would be my answer. Basically, twice of root 2 minus 1. So twice of root 2 minus 1. This would be my answer. Now see, one thing that you need to understand is that while doing this, these questions, lot of basics of mathematics, basics of mathematics, at least your class 10th mathematics concept should be clear. For example, manipulating the square roots. I have seen a lot of students who are not able to manipulate the square roots. I've seen a lot of 11th class students who won't be able to do the rationalization. So you should be okay with that. If there is a certain concept that you are not able to understand, then you should go back and try to revise that topic. And in case of any doubt in this lecture, please let me know. You can mention the timestamp where you faced a problem. I'll be glad to help you out. And please like the lecture. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm making a playlist of all the JEE problems, JEE mains problems from maths and physics. Please have a look at that. It would be there in the comment section. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope this was useful. Hope you learned something new. What I realized while I was doing this question was that how do we manipulate? How do we manipulate the known concepts to come to a solution? So hope you also enjoyed doing this question. The more you practice such kind of questions, I always tell my students to practice more and more previous year questions, because that is how you understand how to manipulate situations. So thanks a lot for watching, and best of luck, and let's meet in the next lecture.